Yo, it's Bam Bam back with media. Now, you have many people that go through traumatic experiences. They go through a lot of pain in their life, especially certain people who I'm gonna say like this: when you come down into the game or you come into the matrix, you come down with certain missions or certain I would say contracts that you need to complete. And so the thing is, when you do this, you're gonna put yourself through certain challenges, or you're gonna know that Source is going to put you through certain challenges, and this is to ultimately grow you as a being. Now, what happens is these people, they get into these situations in their life, and they get stuck in the trauma, and they start to trauma bond, or they start to really create, an attachment to this trauma. And in order to be able to be a therapist, or to be a self therapist to yourself, or be a source therapist, or a source therapy, so to speak, then you would understand that the person needs to ultimately love self and work on self first. So this is why we always talk about the self first, because when the person is working on self, this is where the person has the most growth. And then he can start to branch out and work on other things. But when you work on self first, this is how you master the ability to be able to be a therapist to yourself. Oh, if I went through these traumas, I know how to detach from these traumas, because I say to myself, okay, I'm going through the healing journey. I'm doing what I'm making myself how I feel about myself, how I think about myself. I'm talking to myself in a more positive manner. I'm doing the actual work that it takes to actually be able to obtain a higher level of consciousness, or a higher level of understanding when it comes to yourself, when it comes to what you're doing here, when you're talking about with God, or you're talking about with source energy. And so this is strongly needed to hear for certain people, because certain people get caught up in their trauma. And I've talked to many people. I've talked to this girl and these other couple people where all they do is kind of get in that same loop or same cycle of, oh, I go through the trauma, I respond or react in a negative manner to this trauma, or if somebody triggers this trauma, then instead of me reacting in that moment in a positive manner, I started to react in a negative manner. I started to take myself from a out of my state of being, or my peaceful state of being, out of my